Good morning. Welcome to your daily dose of God time. So glad you could join. Um, we're talking about the fifth pillar, right? And so, as we talk about this fifth pillar at Tell the World, there is a danger to silence. And there's this profound human truth about the gospel that I think we have to confront. And it's this: it's bad manners to keep a feast a secret while the city is starving. And we find this perfect story for this in the Old Testament, 2 Kings 7. The setting's horrific. The Syrian army is completely surrounded, has completely surrounded the city of Samaria. They've cut off all supply lines. The famine inside the walls is so severe that the text records people are turning to extreme, unthinkable measures just to survive. The economy's collapsed. The hope is extinct. But sitting outside the city gates are four men with leprosy. Because they have leprosy, they're not allowed to go inside. They're outcast among outcasts, trapped in a deadly mathematical equation. If they go into the city, they'll die of starvation. If they stay at the gate, they'll die of their disease. So they make a desperate gamble, and they're thinking, hey, let's go over to the Syrian camp. If they kill us, we're going to die anyway. But maybe, just maybe, they'll show us mercy. But look what happens when they arrive, recorded in 2 Kings 7, 5, and 8. It says, so the diseased men got up at twilight to go to the Arameans' camp. And when they came to the camp's edge, they discovered that there was no one there, for the Lord had caused the Aramean camp to hear the sound of chariots, horses, and a large army. So they had gotten up, fled at twilight, abandoning their tents, horses, and donkeys. The camp was intact, and they had fled for their lives. When the diseased men came to the edge of the camp, they went into a tent to eat and drink. Then they picked up the silver, gold, and clothing and went off and hid them. I mean, can you imagine the scene? These four dying men suddenly find themselves in this abandoned paradise. Their cauldrons of meat still boiling over fires, their piles of gold and changes of clothing. They gorge themselves, they pack their pockets. They're living a dream while their families back inside the city walls are eating dust. But then the weight of their silence hits them. In 2 Kings 7, 9, look at what it says. Then they said to each other, we're not doing what's right. Today is a good day of good news. If we are silent and wait until morning, our punishment will catch up with us. So let's go tell the king's household. Now look what they said. What we are doing is not right. Listen, church, friends, this is the shift between the first four pillars and the fifth one. See, you can read the book, love the people, share the meal, and pray the prayer, and you can gorge yourself on the spiritual riches of Jesus Christ inside church. But if we don't walk out those doors and open our mouths, we have to look at each other in the mirror and say the exact same thing, right? What we're doing is not right. Here's why. The world outside your church is in a state of spiritual Samaria. People are suffocating under the weight of anxiety, drowning in shame, searching for identity in broken cisterns, and facing an eternity separated from a living God. We can't sit in the camp of grace, stuffing our pockets with salvation, comfort, and community while the city starves. Notice what the lepers called it. Today is a day of good news. That's the exact definition of the biblical word for gospel. Euangelion. Good news. It's the only appropriate response to good news is transmission. I mean, when you go to work today, when you interact with your neighbors, when you talk with your friends, when you go to the store, remember those four lepers. They realized that keeping a feast a secret was a moral failure. Our world is starving for hope. They're starving for truth. We're starving for genuine love. You hold the location of the feast, and you know the one to introduce them to. So break the silence, because sharing the good news is the only right thing to do. Let me pray for you today. Father, help us today to be bold. Lord, not that we have to win any arguments today, but Father, may our love overwhelm them. May the words that we speak point them directly to Jesus. And Father, may we just simply be a witness telling the great thing that you've done in our lives. May you be glorified in that, Jesus. It's in your name I pray. Amen. Well, I hope you have an incredible day. Love God. Love one another. Now, go be salt and light. Have a great day.